Hey, what's up, mama? Does your little one struggle with diaper changes, getting their hair washed, or do you feel like you have to drive all the way around the neighborhood just to get your baby to go to sleep? If this is you, you're gonna wanna stick around because today, Rachel's gonna be breaking down our vestibular sensory system and how these daily challenges are impacted by the sensory system and what you can do to help. Coming up. Hey mama, welcome back to the Kids OT Help channel. My name's Nicole and today I'm here with Rachel.
Hello.
From the Sensory Project. And we've actually done a few videos together for the sensory system. So if you haven't checked out our previous videos in this collection of videos, I will link it up here. You can just click above. So for those who have not seen Rachel, why don't you introduce yourself briefly and tell them what you do?
Okay, so I am a certified occupational therapy assistant and I work with kids here in Idaho. And I also own the Sensory Project and I help empower families and therapists about the sensory systems because it is my biggest passion.
I'm super excited. Today we're jumping into the vestibular sensory system. So why don't you talk to us about what it is?
Okay, so the vestibular system is one of your hidden senses and you have 8 senses, not the 5 senses that everybody tells you you have. So the vestibular system is located in your inner ears and you have receptors that help you identify where you are in space, whether your head is upright, whether you're upside down, whether you're spinning. It helps you understand where you are in space and it helps your body understand how to maintain an upright position, how to right your body, how to keep your body feeling upright. If that makes sense. Fair.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so we were actually talking about how Nicole's sensory system has gotten more sensitive as she has grown up. And that is a thing.
As I've grown up, yes. As I've gotten older.
Yeah.
She didn't want to say, as you've gotten older.
But what's so interesting is when these kiddos struggle with vestibular processing, either as an infant or a toddler or in early childhood, it can severely impact their ability to get through their day. It's really important to be aware of this and we need to talk about it and get you guys incorporating different vestibular-based activities to help your kiddos with things like diaper changes, sleeping, and ADLs like taking a bath.
Good stuff like that.
Good stuff like that, yeah.
So then we've talked about diaper changes and having issues tipping your head back. Are there any other common signs you see that may indicate the vestibular system is not being processed properly?
Yes.
Okay.
So things like play. Play is a childhood occupation and kiddos who are under-responsive or over-responsive are gonna look different when they're on the playground playing or they're on the floor playing. And so that's one time that we'll see a lot of these vestibular challenges present themselves. So we do need to talk about what over-responsive and under-responsive mean because it's kind of confusing.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
Yeah.
So when a child is over-responsive, it means they're having too big of a reaction to the vestibular input. So maybe you're in the bathtub and you have your child tip their head back and they freak out. Yes. Or they tense up and they're completely uncomfortable. So that is an over-responsive impact. So under-responsive means that they're not getting enough input to feel good and normal and like how you and I are right now. So they're trying to get that input by running around, jumping, doing somersaults,
Flipping off the couch.
spinning is a big one.
Yes.
So
going in circles.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they're trying to get their body to get enough of that input, satisfy that urge, and how they do it is by being kind of crazy and all over the place.
Seeking it, yeah. So that way they can feel calm and in that neutral place.
Yes, because the goal of the sensory system is to modulate everything. Your internal awareness, your external environment. The goal is to process all that is bombarding our system and feel good about it.
Right.
So
be able to function in life. Yeah.
So that's why we're driving these kids around in the car to make them go to sleep because their body needs that extra input in order to relax and calm down.
I love it. That's a wonderful explanation.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so we have an over-responsive kiddo. What are some strategies we want to implement? Maybe list a couple, 2 or 3 that we can try at home with our kiddos and see if it has a positive impact.
Okay, so over-responsive. Again, that means that they are almost anxious about movement. They don't want their feet to leave the floor. They don't want their head in a different position change. So the first step is empathy. You have to be able to empathize with your child and understand exactly how they're feeling.
Yes.
And so that's number one. When you can understand how that movement or how that position change makes them feel, then you can incorporate different strategies to help them. And it starts with very, very slow position movements and getting their head into a different position and incorporating it into play. So one of my favorite tools is using a therapy ball or a peanut ball. And so having the child either sit or lay backwards over the ball so they're still supported is a really good way to activate that vestibular system and give them that input and help them learn to process it without making them feel too uncomfortable because they have the support of a therapy ball or a peanut ball.
Right. I love that. And it's easy enough to guide the movement very slowly, especially if they're tummy down first, you know?
Yes.
So you don't have to go all the way upside down. It could just be a slight change in the forward motion and see how they're responding to that. You're always looking at their face for these changes and you really want to move at their speed.
Yes.
Right?
And listen to them. If they're uncomfortable, then stop.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't want to push them. And your hand should always be on them because having that deep pressure of your touch can help regulate that over responsiveness as well.
Absolutely. And we want that trust, you know, because your kiddo's not going to get on the ball again if we're doing these crazy motions and we're not listening to their cues and going at their speed.
Exactly. Okay, so another one of my favorite activities for a little bit older kiddos to get the rotary vestibular input, which is rotational input, is called twist and tap. And so what you can do is either take your fingers or you can take a ball, and what you're doing is having the child twist and focus their vision on a stationary subject. So if you put stickers on the wall and they're standing with their back against the wall and they're twisting and tapping the sticker and twisting and tapping the sticker, and then you can put the stickers in different heights. So maybe you could have the green stickers at the top and then the pink stickers and then the red stickers and then the blue stickers. So you can say, tap the green sticker. So they have to do green, green, blue at the bottom, blue at the bottom. So again, they're getting that head position change and it's working on helping them process that input. But I will say, whenever you're doing these vestibular based activities, always follow with a proprioceptive activity. So that means heavy work.
And I will link that video here.
Watch that video.
We dive into it and we have a lot of activities that you can do that focus on that proprioceptive input.
Yes.
So, awesome.
And that helps to combat that over responsiveness. And so you think about the vestibular system, it increases the arousal level of the child and the adult, and we want to make sure that we're elevating it and then we're decompressing it. So we're not leaving it elevated.
Right.
Because otherwise these kiddos would just be crazy all over the place.
We don't want that.
Yeah.
So we got some great ideas for our over-responsive kiddos. So now let's chat a bit about our under-responsive kiddos and what we can do for them.
Yes. So again, the under-responsive kiddos are the ones who are seeking so much input. Oftentimes we'll call these sensory seekers or sensory cravers because they're craving that input. So what we need to do is meet their threshold. Their body is telling us that they need this input in order to feel regulated. So we have to give them what they are asking for and we have to listen to their body. So if they are jumping and crashing all over the place, trampolines are fantastic. Crash pads are fantastic. I always recommend sensory diets because sensory diets make a world of difference because it is a diet specifically for their sensory needs.
Yes.
And it's a map of going through these different activities to help meet that threshold and then decompress.
It's amazing, you guys. Yeah. Actually, she has a course coming out, so I will link that information if you're interested in learning more in the description box below.
Another product that we love, we both actually were talking about this and we love it, are those Billabong spinners. And they're also great because they work on the postural control. So these muscles here that help us maintain an upright position, which is part of the vestibular system as well, it's all connected. And the child can sit in this little bucket.
Plastic,
and
shell.
they can spin themselves. And so you just want to make sure that they're not just spinning in one direction, they're spinning in the opposite direction as well. And then you're stopping, you're watching their eyes, you're watching their body language to make sure that it's not too much input. And then you're following it with that proprioceptive input to help bring them back down.
Those are awesome recommendations.
Yeah.
Thank you. These are all really great and effective tools that you can try at home. But I'll ask you, are there any resources that, whether you are a parent or a therapist, that you would absolutely recommend to really put this all together?
Yes, I highly recommend the astronaut training program. And it's a little book that goes with a spinning board, and it helps you understand what exactly the vestibular system is and how you can work on incorporating a very specific protocol to address the vestibular system. So astronaut training, I'm sure you'll
I can link it down in the
Yep.
description box below if you guys are interested in learning more about that.
Because you have to be very careful with the vestibular
Yes.
system, and so having that additional guide is helpful.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Rachel,
Of
for
course.
coming by and breaking down the vestibular sensory system. You guys, I'm going to link her Instagram information, her website. If you have any questions or you just want to learn more about our sensory systems, check her out. She's always dropping great knowledge. And thank you again for
You're
coming.
so welcome. Thanks for having me.
All right, mamas, I hope you found this helpful, and I will catch you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.